Hi crypto fans, welcome to CCS Cryptocurrency State. My name is Santiago, I'm a web developer and investor. In today's video we are going to do a lot of Ripple updates, so don't miss this video. We are going to cover news, the price action and many news that happened this last week and previous week. Some things are very new from yesterday noon, so please pay attention for all of this news. Before we begin, please like the video, subscribe to the channel and click the bell to get the notifications. And without anything else, let's go into it. So first news is that Ripple expands cross-border payments using XRP with Tranglo in Asia. Sometimes I really lose the perspective of what Ripple is doing because of the lawsuit in US, but many places in the world are adopting Ripple and are having partnerships with them. So despite its legal troubles in the US, Ripple and Tranglo, a Malaysian-based cross-border payments provider, today announced that Tranglo has launched its first live on-demand liquidity service on RippleNet. So ODL, it means that it will use the token XRP. You know that Ripple has many products and not all of them use the token XRP for the cross-border payments. So when you see on-demand liquidity, it means that it will be using the token. Ripple Global Payments Network for financial institutions in the Philippines, with plans for more remittance corridors in the coming months. Ripple ODL services use XRP for liquidity during cross-border transactions. The announcement follows Ripple acquisition of a 40% stake in Tranglo in March as part of its expansion plans for RippleNet in Southeast Asia. We have successfully unified local and regional support infrastructure using XRP at the bridging currency, says Shaky Lee, Tranglo Group CEO, in a statement. So important news for XRP. Also, Ripple partners with UAE-based forgiving exchange company. This has been all around. This was for yesterday also. Ripple has scored partnerships with Al Ansari Exchange, which is a Dubai-based money transfer and forgiving exchange company, according to a Wednesday announcement. And they will utilize RippleNet Cloud in order to establish a remittance corridor between UAE and Malaysia. Payments sent via Al Ansari Exchange will be received by MoneyMatch, a Malaysian fintech startup. So here you have alansariexchange.com. You can check here and you will see that this is a big company. And you have MoneyMatch, transfers.moneymatch.co. And you can see also this Malaysia company will be the one that will be receiving the transference from the tokens from Al Ansari Exchange. So big news for XRP. Regarding the XRP lawsuit, Ripple objects further extensions in the lieu of frozen XRP markets. So this is also yesterday, the latest updates in the XRP lawsuit. So Ripple filed an opposition to the SEC letter seeking a 2-month extension of the court-ordered expert discovery deadline, dragging the case further into the new year. Ripple noted that while it agreed to extend the deadline for reviewed expert reports to November 12, expert discovery should not be extended beyond December 10. Ripple asserted that extending expert discovery to January 2022 will undoubtedly produce a Ripple and continue to freeze XRP markets in the US. And yeah, so probably this lawsuit will extend further in 2022. But regarding this, also it's important to mention that the Commissioner Pierce suggests SEC to work with crypto business to build a reasonable framework. This is something that we will never understand, and why I think the old Ripple lawsuit was a combination of political and economic behind-the-scene actions that we'll call. The Commissioner Hester Pierce, called Crypto Mom, strikes back to the SEC for not working with crypto business in carving out a reasonable framework for the security laws. So from different angles, the SEC is getting pressure about this. but we still don't need to forget the big picture of what Ripple does, because they are still getting partnerships. Ripple partners CGE teams up with Bank of Montreal and National Bank of Canada. Ripple partner public company CGE has partnered with two major banks of Canada, the Bank of Montreal as well as the National Bank of Canada, to help them accelerate their digital transformation via the CGE 360 transaction flow. The Bank of Canada reckons that the Ripple partners SCGE will help them to produce their digital solutions for their financial trade activities better and faster. Ripple and CGE have been in partnership since 2015. You can go cge.com and you will see actually in the middle of the banner on the homepage that this company advances blockchain adoption with the implementation of Ripple Validator Node. So it's all related to Ripple. This is not a collateral partnership that Ripple has. This is also Ripple company. So yeah, major Canadian banks adopting partnerships with them. Also, Mike Novogratz claims that Ripple SEC lawsuit hasn't affected XRP price. Well, he talks about the Ripple community, but I am not agree with him. I really think that this affected all the 2021, and we probably will be around $3 or $5 if it wasn't for this. And in this bull run on October, I would say below $5. But I think the American market, the US market is very important. So even if we lose perspective of what Ripple does in the rest of the world, I think we will not see all-time highs before this. Also breaking, Ripple joins Digital Pound Foundation, and here's its role in CBDC development. So similar to Canada, Ripple, the digital remittance technology provider, today announced its partnership with the non-profit Digital Pound Foundation. The foundation is working towards the development and implementation of a digital pound in the UK. Ripple will join as the founding member and will help in the development process with the vast experience in facilitating cross-border transactions. So Ripple continues to form new global partnerships. So yeah, even if we are stuck in the US with the lawsuit, we need to keep calm and remember that we will be paying for these patients. And it's not only the Ripple case, it's a crypto case. So also consider that if you are not a fan of Ripple. And finally, the CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, claims that Ether surpassed XRP because of the SEC lawsuit. And if you are new into the crypto world in 2021, you didn't saw that. But Ripple XRP at some points in the market was at position 2, below Bitcoin and above Ethereum. So it was 2 or 3 times in the last years. So that is why the note referred to that. And during his appearance at the DC Fintech Week virtual conference, Brad Garlinghouse opined that the regulatory clarity that Ethereum, the second biggest crypto, has received from the US Securities and Exchange Commission allow it to surpass XRP. So guys, many news, many partnerships on Ripple's side. Let's keep calm and see how the lawsuit resolves. Before we continue with the video, remember that I am doing an amazing giveaway. I will be giving half of a Bitcoin to one winner and 5 Ethereum to 5 different winners. If you want to participate, it's super easy, just a couple of clicks. Follow the link in the description. But remember that you need to be subscribed to the channel with the bell on to be considered. Let's go for a quick update on the price. So you can see here this purple trend line from April. I unified these points of touch, and that gives me this also point of resistance in the future. So if you have the line here from April during this all-time high, local all-time highs, and you extend that, you will get a very important trend line right now. Because was resistance here in August, also here in August, we have a break here, but we didn't confirm it with support here. So this was a clear fake out pattern. And in this case, you will be seeing how we have a double bottom, so it was a very bullish pattern. we start claiming about this blue line of support, and this was perfect technical analysis. A breakout confirmation for here, it will be a big movement. This was a fake cut, but for the downside, this was exactly a pattern from a book of TA. And where we came here, we came to this point, we enter into the golden Fibonacci pocket. If you put the Fibonacci extension from here to this top, you will see that we enter exactly in the golden pocket. So another TA exact book line. And from here we starting to escalate and held this line of resistance all the time here from beginning of October. Even with all the bullish price of Bitcoin, RIP XRP is still in this downtrend position in terms of this line of resistance. So this line of resistance is very important, guys, very important. Even if we have a couple of weeks, we couldn't surpass this and held a daily candle of support. So that will be, for me, a very big movement for XRP. And right now we are holding this yellow line as support. So you can see how important was this triangle with this purple and blue line here. And right now we are scaling with the same point here, this yellow line. Resistance here on the double bottom, on this week resistance. So right now we are at a critical point between the purple and the yellow line. So we need to see what will happen. I think in the very short term, the stochastic RSI is not continuing this bullish trend. We need to check this. If we cross bearish again, we could go lower. And at this moment, 1.06, so 4 cents below, it will be in this yellow trend line. So keep this as support, keep this as resistance. But if we break this to $1.20, be sure that we will see new local highs here to 132. And from here, we will be in this area of support. So we could see fireworks if there's some bullishness in the market and we go above 1.15 with a daily close candle above this purple line. So guys, that will be all for this video. Remember to like, subscribe to the channel and click the bell to get the notification. Subscribing is free and helps me a lot, so please subscribe and share the video. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.